Check it out. The new best EZA TUR just dropped. How's it, everybody? Celtic Link here. We're back for another Dokkan battle video. In today's video, we are taking a look at the EZA details for the INT legendary Super Saiyan BROLY. That's right. They told us back during the opening of the campaign live stream that this dude would be receiving his EZA, and also that they would tweet out his details, and they did say that on the global live stream. So I'm not sure why global hasn't tweeted this out, but nonetheless, we got the JPs and we got the usual suspects giving us the good translation. So we're going to take a look at what this guy's doing, talk a little bit about what this means for the rest of the campaign. So shout out to Minato for getting this guy's EZA translations. I'm already loving what I'm seeing so far. So let's go ahead. Let's jump on in. So he is Planetary Destruction or Movie Bosses, Category Key 3, HP, Attack and Defense 170%. On his Super Attack, he is greatly raising attack and raising defense while causing immense damage to the enemy, right? So, I mean, just taking a look at what he was doing before, all they did was up the leader skill to a flat 170 and change his attack to greatly raising. Now, it's kind of interesting. I mean, they've been doing this with most of the Brolys, right? Making them focus more on attack than anything else, right? While some of them do have defensive mechanics, attack is more what they're about, which, I mean, kind of makes sense when you think about, you know, Broly. So, because actually, now that I think about it, right, the tech, the AGLLR from the anniversary, they all raise attack. So, you know, I guess it makes sense. So, taking a look here at his passive now, he's got key 3, attack and defense 260%. He reduces damage received by 26% and has an additional chance of performing a critical hit, 26%. He launches an additional attack that has a high chance of becoming a super attack and gets attack and defense 26% when attacking. He has an additional key 3 and launches an additional attack that has a 70% chance of becoming a super attack and reduces damage received by 18% when facing a pure, hybrid, or movie heroes category. I mean, and also raising his critical hit percent chance, right? He also has a guaranteed additional super attack and reduces damage received by an additional 15%, as well as a chance for a critical hit, 15% if you are facing an enemy that includes Goku. So this part right here, this last part is actually, both of these is huge, right? It just basically gives him a little bit extra, right? Because we look at his passive previously, it's just pure or hybrid Saiyans. But you look at a lot of the type of the content that you're going to be facing, right, in modern day content, right? You aren't just facing pure or hybrid Saiyans, right? So adding in the movie heroes gives a little extra room for the fights that you're going to be fighting, right? Like, think about facing, like, you know, the Goku Piccolo fight, for example. You aren't facing just pure or hybrid Saiyans, right? So having the movie heroes helps with that. Or the latest fight after the Goku Piccolo, the Super Saiyan trio, right? That isn't pure or hybrid Saiyans. So, I mean, having movie heroes just helps that. But the third part, also enemy includes Goku's. There's a lot of fights where, right, you aren't facing just the enemy itself. Think of the Gogeta fight. Think of the trio fight. Goku Piccolo, Goku Frieza, right? Having this passive allows him to activate when you're facing none, you know, those enemies who don't include pure hybrid or movie heroes, because chances are there will be a Goku, right? And, you know, even if you don't have either of these filled, right, you're still getting 26% in raising defense, right? So he could easily be covered by his partners in terms of protection in that regard. So, I mean, like, realistically, like, let's assume best case scenario, right, where you're activating all 3 of these, right? So he's getting, what is that, 26%? He's getting, and then let's say you're facing pure hybrid or movie heroes, that's another 18. So what is that, 44%, right? Plus, get, what is it, 15 if you're facing any of those have a Goku in this name. So 59%. Actually, that kind of makes sense now. So 59% damage reduction in total if you activate all of his, right? But even then, 44 if there's no Goku, which is still pretty good. So, I mean, realistically, he's going to be somewhere around the 40 to 59%, depending on which parts of these passives is active. And then again, it's not like that's all he's doing, right? It's not just he's getting all of this. He's getting all of this, and then every time he super attacks, he's greatly raising his attack and raising his defense by 30%. So, right, like let's say on your ideal turn, right, you have all of this active. You have one, so you have your guarantee, so you have your super, right? So you launch your super. Then second attack, you launch a guaranteed super, right? So now that's another, right, what is that? That's already 60% raise right there, right? On defense, right? Then we get the, let's say you proc the 70% for pure and hybrid Saiyans. That's another 30%, right? That's a 90% raise on turn 1. Plus, let's say you get his built-in 50%, right? That's another 30% for 120. Plus the hidden potential, right? He has the potential in turn 1 alone to raise his defense by... raises defense by 150% by launching 5 super attacks, right? Because his base, this one, and this one plus the hidden potential, that's 5 super attacks right there. Like, that is wild. This dude is going to spin out of control, right? Come on, think about the attack on that, right? 50%, right? That's a 250% raise turn 1. Like, that is insane. And the best part about it is, right, like, he's got all of this damage reduction while he's doing this, right? That's the part that's crazy. Now I mean, I would definitely build him additionals, but I don't really, you could probably forget. If you intend to only use him in the fights like this, you might even go dodge instead of crit to make up for that, right? You don't need the crit because he's got so much of it going on, honestly. So, I mean, I would go that they knocked it out of the park with this EZA. Every Broly they've released this year has been phenomenal. This one is no different. I honestly think, based on everything I'm seeing here, he is in the running for best EZA TR. I think damage-wise, like that. Once that first turn is up, he's going to eclipse Kefla, right? And that's already saying something, right? Because we know how good damage-wise Kefla is. I think he could easily outpace her in damage. Obviously, we need to see in-game, but just based on what I'm seeing here, I definitely think he could do it. Because he's not orb-dependent, right? He's just doing this. And the best part about it is his best link partner here, right? This Broly right here. And then he links 5 links with him transform. He links 4 links with the AGL, right? Like, a lot of times stacking units, right, they all have this penalty to their initial stats when they first drop, right? Like, if I can actually right, I mean, I'm gonna pull up Proton real quick just to show you this, because I think he did actually post the stats, right? So yeah, here it is. So, right, we take a look at the stats here, right? Already this is pretty phenomenal, right, for an EZA TUR, right? And like most stacking units have a handicap to what they would stack for the turn, right? This is easily going to be mitigated for, like he's going to surpass that all on his own, kind of the way Kefla does, right? Tech Ultimate Gohan's one of the few that couldn't quite break that gap turn 1. He's still good, don't get me wrong, but, you know, he did need that extra guard and that extra damage reduction to help him get through turns 1 and 2. Whereas I don't think Broly's going to have that much of a worry, and the main reason why is because of who his best link partner is. You can easily have him covered turn 1 by this guy. This guy covers slot 1 while this dude stacks up in slot 2. By the next turn, you've transformed your Tech Broly, and this guy is already going wild. The Tech Broly can go slot 1 once again, turn 1, and a first appearance. This guy still turn 2, right? Possibility of 10 supers by that point. He's untouchable. He's untouchable by that point. I don't understand how they could have done any better with this. Like, his base kit was so perfect for the time of its release. There wasn't much you needed to do to make him perfect, and they did it. They knocked it out of the park with this one, and I'm really happy that BROLY got the EZA he deserves. Obviously, we'll wait till we can test him in game in a few days to know exactly how good he is, but I'm already thinking he may be in the running next to Ultimate Gohan and Kefla for best EZA TUR. The only thing I have a concern about is they didn't tweet out the details for this guy. There's still a chance I'm holding out Cope. Maybe, you know, he'll get announced later, or they don't announce him at all because he's a sub EZA and they just drop his butt. We'll see what happens. Maybe they'll announce him on the global side of things, who knows. But I would really like to see these guys get an EZA. They would work really well with the trio, so we'll see. But this is BROLY's celebration, so who knows. So guys, that is it for the video. If you liked the video, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and in the comments down below, let us know what are your thoughts on this monster of an EZA. I'm thinking he just may be in the running for the best, but I want to know your thoughts. Let us know in the comments down below. Otherwise, guys, as always, thanks for watching, and aloha.